Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. Today we're going to be going over the Paladin aura known as Blessed Aim. I'm not skipping Might. We already did Might a long time ago, so if you haven't seen that video, I would definitely check that one out, because I go over a lot of cool stuff in that video. But Blessed Aim is an interesting aura that most people don't run because, well, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it's not that great. It's not that it doesn't really provide a bonus that is really amazing. It's more so that percentage increased attack rating is really not that great. I mean, if I told you that I was going to give you 1,000% more money, but you only make like a penny an hour, you know, like 1,000% more money isn't really going to give you a whole lot. I mean, if you're making 0.01 penny per hour, and I give you a 1,000% increase, you've gone from a penny an hour to 11 cents an hour. Like, woo. Like, absolutely amazing, right? And that's one of the issues with percentage-based increase for attack rating, is that a lot of the times you just don't really have a lot of attack rating to begin with. And so things don't really work out very well to your advantage. For instance, I could level up Zeal to its maximum here, so it has 190% increased attack rating, and my 1,192 is going to go to 3,456, which is still nowhere near enough for a hell level character. And if I throw on something like Fanaticism, which has some more attack rating, right? So I just keep rolling this number. And let's me respec real quick so I can do this properly. And so I keep rolling this. I get as much as I possibly can. I got my max Fanaticism. I max out my Zeal, and then when I'm running, like, what is that, 330% attack rating from Zeal, and then I get my Fanaticism attack rating, and now I'm sitting at 7,060, which still isn't enough for hell difficulty, by the way. You need about, like, 9 to 10,000 for hell difficulty. Now, Blessed Aim isn't really going to give me more attack rating than Fanaticism is. Fanaticism gives me 170% attack rating, which is pretty amazing. And if I leveled up Blessed Aim to its maximum here, you'd see it gives 465% active. But it gives 100% passive, which is very interesting. So although the attack rating isn't really like a ridiculously large amount more than what other abilities would give, because percentage-based attack rating doesn't really work all that great, I don't actually have to use it. That's the really cool thing about Blessed Aim, is that when you put 20 points into Blessed Aim, you get a passive bonus to your attack rating of 100%. It goes up, obviously, per level, and each time you beef it up, you're going to get more out of it. So at level 1, you get 5%, level 2 is 10%, and it keeps going up at 5% per level until eventually you get to the cap of 100%. It does not go above 100% ever for the passive. Now, the passive bonus is just going to give you a very nice passive attack rating bonus, and it's a very nice dump stat if you just don't have anything else to spend your points into. So if you're like a Zealer or something and you just really need more attack rating, it does help. Now, when you have all this massive amount of plus attack rating percentage, it's important to remember that plus percentage is something that you can take advantage of if you use it properly. So you notice that right now I'm sitting at, put my points back in, I'm sitting at 994, right? Well, if I take off one of my charms, like I have a 20 attack rating charm here, you'll notice that 20 gives me a hell of a lot more than just 20. I'm going from 854 to 994, which is over 100 for 20 attack rating. The more plus percentage you have, the more that attack rating actually does. So raw attack rating. Something like Ravenfrost, which gives 250 attack rating and 20 dexterity, which is more attack rating on top of that, by the way, because dexterity gives 5 points of attack rating per point of dexterity, which means you're looking at 10 points is 50, 20 points is 100, so we have 350 attack rating from Ravenfrost. When I take this off, what you're going to notice is I'm going to go from 8,554 to 6,104. That 350 attack rating is getting multiplied by literally everything that I have on my character. And this is why attack rating flat is usually far more valuable than attack rating percentage. Now, there is another way that you can get Blessed Aim, and you can get Blessed Aim from a mercenary. So if you go to Act 2, there are Blessed Aim mercenaries that you can hire, and their aura will, of course, affect you with some more percentage. So if we go here and we take a look, we do have a level 18, 330% active attack rating bonus from the Blessed Aim merc. We got Mr. Emilio. Now, Emilio is going to give us that attack rating percentage as well, on top of everything else, and it's just going to be more attack rating, which means that our existing attack rating gets multiplied even more with the Blessed Aim effect. Now, until recently, Blessed Aim was actually bugged, and it actually would cancel out Penetrate on the Amazon, but that has actually been fixed. So it no longer cancels out the Penetrate from the Amazon. And you notice I've got 12,586 attack rating now between all of the auras and the effects that are going on. So if I'm out here in the moor and I take off my Ravenfrost, you'll notice that now Ravenfrost is giving me, what is that, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, so like 3,500 attack rating for just 350. So the more percentage that you can manage to obtain, the more valuable something like Ravenfrost becomes, to the point where literally you can end up with insane levels of bonuses for just tiny bits of addition of attack rating, which is where things like 20 attack rating charms come in so valuable, because even a 20 attack rating charm will give you a pretty massive bonus when you're looking at like Blessed Aim, fanaticism, and all those beautiful things. We're going up, what, 250-ish just for 20 attack rating, which is pretty crazy. Now, why do you need so much attack rating as a melee character? Well, the thing is that if you can't hit the target, you're not going to dish out damage. And this is really where Blessed Aim comes in to help in situations where you just need a little bit of extra attack rating. But I'm not really convinced that that 100% extra is really worth the 20 skill points that you're going to spend into it, or rather the 19, because most people are going to go down to things like fanaticism or concentration anyway. So you're always going to have at least 1 point. So we're talking about 19 points and 95% increased attack rating. At the end of the day, it's not going to be the end or break of your character. If you have a couple extra points to spend into Blessed Aim and you don't really have anything else to put it in, then it makes sense to dump a couple extra points in here to get some more attack rating. But overall, it doesn't really help that dramatically. The Mercenary himself, though, does give a pretty good bonus and is honestly pretty useful if you're just really hurting on attack rating. But one thing I would recommend is that you look into the Enchant Merc instead. So although you get 330% attack rating from the Blessed Aim, there is also a really nice Mercenary in Act 3 that you can get now that has Enchant. And this was also one of the patches a while back. If you guys missed the Mercenary patch, they beefed up a lot of these Mercenaries. And one of the ones that they beefed up was the Fire Merc. The Fire Merc now has access to Enchant. At extremely high levels, it can actually give you more attack rating than Blessed Aim does, including a little bit of fire damage, and it doesn't require the Mercenary to be alive. So in the case of the Blessed Aim Mercenary, if he dies, you've now lost your attack rating. But in the case of the Fire Mercenary, if the Fire Mercenary dies, well, it doesn't matter. He's already enchanted you, and the enchant lasts for a particularly long period of time, which means that you're going to stay enchanted for 960 seconds or more, depending on what level of the enchant is. And that's really what it comes down to, is how much freaking attack rating can I get? Can I get high enough to hit the target? And, like, am I actually going to hit the target? Unfortunately, a lot of the issues with attack rating come down to level problems. And I think I have Let me see if I actually have that on here. I don't know if I actually still have the calculations for attack rating on my list. Is the monster green? Where did that one come? Oh yeah, that's about poison. Because if the monster is not green, then they do not prevent regeneration. Yeah, I remember that one. So this is the defense formula, which is probably the closest thing I'm gonna get. So basically, what this is how the game calculates out whether or not a monster is going to hit you or whether you are going to hit the monster. And what it comes down to is that the monster's level plays a very big role in whether or not you are going to hit the monster. A lot more than people realize. So when you're fighting a monster that's a lot higher level than you, you can have insane levels of attack rating, but still be missing a lot. And this is not because your attack rating is too low. It's actually because the monster's level is a lot higher than yours, and you're being penalized in your hit chance. And attack rating becomes really, really complicated. And what I would recommend is that for any of you who are interested or trying to figure out how to get your attack rating to a level that you actually need to hit the monsters, or you just don't understand attack rating in general, I have a video that goes over attack rating and talks about everything that you need to know about attack rating, including things like Blessed Aim, Enchant, and monster level penalties, the whole 9 yards. And that stuff is pretty complicated. Blessed Aim plays a role in it, of course, but at the end of the day, plus percentage is a lot less valuable, in my opinion, than flat increases. And getting those flat increases can often be a pain in the butt. There are ways to completely avoid attack rating calculations, like ignores target's defense, negative target's defense, negative target's defense per hit, and various skills that will always hit the target and do not have to worry about attack rating, like Impale, Guided Arrow, and Smite. But if you're using an ability that does not guarantee hit, and you cannot work in things like negative monster defense into your build, you've got to rely on attack rating to hit the target. And you're going to want to take a look at the video going over all the different ways that you can make your character, hit the target more often. There's not really a lot more to go over when it comes to Blessed Aim. I think that's pretty much everything. As always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.